Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40k Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Space Marine chapters as we jump into the lore of the Silver Skulls chapter. If you guys have any suggestions for other Space Marine chapters or any lore of Warhammer 40k that you guys would like us to create a video for, please comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. We post Warhammer 40k videos every single day. With that said, let's get into 40 Facts About the Silver Skulls. The Silver Skulls is a Codex Astartes-compliant Loyalist chapter of Space Marines, which is a possible second founding successor chapter of the Ultramarines, though this remains unconfirmed. The Silver Skulls will only take to the battlefield when their psychic omens that their specialist librarians, known as prognosticators, receive from the Emperor to indicate that the outcome of the combat will be favorable for the chapter. The Silver Skulls primarily wear metallic silver power armor, with the exception of the trim of the shoulder guard, which are black. On their left shoulder plate is the emblem of their chapter, a stylized skull cast in silver. Each squad's emblem has the skull's eyes picked out in a gemstone that provides them with a name. Ironically, their chapter icon is eerily similar to the pre-Horus Heresy badge of the Iron Warriors. Although there is little information available on the chapter in Imperial records, several references indicate that the Silver Skulls may be amongst the most renowned and honored chapters of the Second Founding. Whatever the truth of their heritage, the Silver Skulls have earned a reputation for victory no matter the odds. The Silver Skulls rely upon the librarians to keep up this reputation. The chapter never deploys without consulting a librarian's augury, and considers such utterances as the word of the Emperor himself. This is because the Silver Skulls believe that the Emperor guides their purpose, and they choose to take to the battlefield only when forewarned to. Such behavior does not sit well with the Imperial commanders, but victory is seen as ample compensation by most of the Silver Skulls' allies. Their homeworld is the feral world of Varsavia, but they do not seem to solely recruit from there. The chapter also finds its recruits on a world called Granada II, recruiting the feral tribesmen from the planet's ash wastes. Varsavia and Granada II are only two of many recruitment planets used by the Silver Skulls. With increasing raids by the renegade forces of the Maelstrom threatening this region, Lord Commander Argentius agreed to the region's need for semi-permanent protection provided by the Silver Skulls. Regular patrols were provided from this chapter's fleet, a rotating duty for those battle brothers who were not deployed on the field of battle elsewhere. Ever since piratical raids had first assaulted the Gildar system, the Silver Skulls had established their patrols across the rift and set up shop on the planet of Varsavia. The Silver Skulls chapter homeworld became Varsavia. It hugs the outer rim of the region of the galaxy known as the Gildar Rift. In this far-flung, often neglected area of the Imperium, the Silver Skulls represent the closest Astartes response force. Varsavia is the fifth planet in a star system of 7 worlds. It is an ice world orbited by 5 moons, set in the galactic north of the Segmentum Obscurus. For being a death world, there is a considerable array of indigenous life, much of it hostile in the extreme. This is a marvel, given that the natural disasters that saw most of the planets locked in permafrost in an erratic orbit between the binary stars of its system. What is even more unexpected is that humanity survives here. Varsavia, the only inhabited planet in the system, has 3 volcanoes, each one known to be active. A check of historical records suggests that there have been no logged eruptions for several hundred Terran Standard years. There are 3 continental landmasses, but only one sustains human life, and it is split approximately in half by a landlocked sea. The southern lands are inhabited almost exclusively by the tribal people who are descended from the planet's original human settlers. It remains a mystery as to how they endured the series of volcanic eruptions and subsequent disruptions of the planet's weather system. Nonetheless, these tribes now thrive. They are considered primitive in nature, and the creed of the God Emperor has been slowly introduced to them, one tribe at a time. Most have embraced these teachings, and while they have eschewed the opportunity of moving to civilized north, they show their fealty to the Emperor and his Imperium. A number of Silver Skull Space Marines are drawn from these people, and they make tenacious warriors. A few isolated tribes have remained resistant to the ecclesiarchy missionary efforts, but in due course the Imperium will address this issue. They are made up of hardy stock and provide an excellent recruiting ground for the Adeptus Astartes, and may yet provide a founding for a regiment of the Astra Militarum. The fortress monastery of the Silver Skulls is situated in the far north of the only settled continent, built into the side of the largest mountain in a great range. Silver veins run through the rocks, and it is believed that this is why the Silver Skulls selected Varsavia as their new homeworld when the unfortunate events of Liara pushed them from their original chapter planet. Relishing the challenges that maintaining peace in the sector offers, the Silver Skulls had set themselves to the task of regularly patrolling the Gildar Rift. Other chapters of the Adeptus Astartes would rarely volunteer themselves for such an inglorious duty, but the Silver Skulls considered the sector to be part of their chapter territory. Over the years, the Silver Skulls and the infamous Chaos Space Marines of the Red Corsairs, who dwell within the permanent warp rift that was the Maelstrom, have shared many encounters. The Gildar Rift had seen incursions from these would-be raiders many times, but each have been successfully thwarted. Since Guilliman laid down the organizational dictates of the Space Marines in the Codex Astartes, it has become the prescription of the military organization and order of battle in almost every Space Marine chapter in the Imperium. Believing themselves to be the scions of Guilliman, the Silver Skulls strive to emulate their forebearers' example and do their Primarch proud. However, the Silver Skulls have strayed from the precise structure laid out in the Codex, though the chapter remains faithful to the spirit of the Codex's teaching. Their main difference from the Codex-compliant chapter is that the Silver Skulls possess a specialist rank known as a prognosticator. The prognosticators are those chapter librarians who also serve as the Silver Skulls' spiritual advisors, akin to the chaplains of other chapters. These devout individuals not only provide spiritual guidance for their fellow battle brothers, but use their powerful psychic abilities to perform the sacred duty of reading the signs to determine whether or not their chapter's might is needed in accordance with the Emperor's divine will. This specialist rank continues to cause concern among certain imperial organizations, such as the Inquisition. Perhaps in part because of their tribal nature, the Silver Skulls hold fast to potential deviations of superstition. Their librarium is not arranged according to the Codex Astartes. Instead, they utilize a body known as the Prognosticatum. This body is comprised of the chapter's elite librarian chaplains, known as prognosticators, and a handful of chaplains who serve the chapter. These are the chapter's champions, its greatest heroes. None dispute the fact that the Prognosticatum is a true ruling power within the Silver Skulls. Inspirational and powerful, this elite unit is formed of psychic battle brothers, whose prowess on the front line is second to none. Frequently, these Astartes are psychers whose gifts lie in a different direction from the esocentric divination and precognitive abilities that are so crucial to the functioning of a chapter, and lean towards the more destructive, though this fact is not widely known among the Silver Skulls. Some prognosticators possess psychic abilities that are not always potent enough to provide a clear picture of the future of the chapter, but this fact is also never advertised outside of the Prognosticatum, as the chapter's morale is initially bound up with the faith of its prognosticators' precognitive pronouncements. A prognosticator's role when he is assigned to a company is not only to advise the company's captain, but also to provide spiritual guidance to its battle brothers in accordance with its position as a chaplain librarian. Not all companies within the Silver Skulls have their own prognosticator. They are a rare breed. Chaplains within the chapter are no less valuable or less respected, but it is undeniable that the prognosticators and the rest of the prognosticatum steer the chapter's course. The most important decisions required by the chapter were ultimately left to the prognosticatum and its governing council, which is overseen by the chapter master Equerry and the chief advisor, Vashiro, the chapter chief prognosticator. No decision that directly affects the entire chapter is ever settled without the prognosticatum first casting its predictions. Within the Silver Skulls chapter, those who represent the council of the prognosticatum are revered second only to the Lord Commander. The entire Silver Skull chapter has been known to refuse to take to the field of battle when a prognosticator has said that the omens were poor. Moreover, and more worrisome, there is evidence that they claim that these visions are delivered to them by the voice of the most glorious God Emperor. Within the chapter's librarium lies a large number of tomes, collectively known as the Orthodoxy. These are the books of the Prognosticator's Creed, a compilation of volumes of the collected wisdom and prophecies of each individual prognosticator, down through the millennia. Throughout the Orthodoxy, the prognosticators gain access to the knowledge. They capture their dreams and visions and contain them for eternity within the pages of these books. In this way, the Orthodoxy ensures that the knowledge and foresight of the ages is passed down to all Silver Skulls. Orthodoxy contains many predictions that may not come to fruition for many centuries, if ever. Within the pages of each tome are many recollections and unexplained dreams. Those that have not yet come to pass are considered by the prognosticatum and judged for truth. Those judged unworthy are struck from the pages of the sacred tomes. Unlike many other chapters, the Silver Skulls remain ignorant as to the truth of their genetic heritage. The name of their Primarch, the Primarch whose genetic material first formed their chapter, was unknown to them, as the records have been lost. However, some fragmentary references in Imperial records indicate that the Silver Skulls had once been a more famed chapter to have been formed during the Second Founding, after the end of the Horus Heresy. Several centuries previously, the chapter's apothecaries have performed countless genetic tests on the Silver Skull's gene seed, which suggest that the Silver Skulls are more likely the successor chapters of the Ultramarines. But the truth of the chapter's heritage matters little to the Silver Skulls. The simple fact is, they do exist, and despite many great hardships, have thrived and prospered in the pursuit of the Emperor's will. And those were 40 facts about the Silver Skulls. Pretty cool chapter. Subscribe to the channel because we're going to come out with a part 2 for this chapter. We're not done with their lore. And I'm going to throw out my predictions right now. You are more than welcome to throw out yours in the comment section below. But I really think that the Silver Skulls are a successor chapter of the Iron Warriors. They're loyalist Iron Warriors. The reason that I think that is because well, their Primarch is Perturabo. Perturabo had this special eye. His eye could see into the future, just like the prognosticators can. So that must be in their gene seed. To top that off, they took to patrolling that rift so easily. The lore itself says that this is a duty that not many Space Marine chapters wanted to do, and they gladly did it, which falls in line with the Iron Warriors. They really didn't want to fall in line they took the roles of like being the cleanup crew basically, and they did it with joy, kinda. But this fits with the Silver Skulls. That and the fact that their chapter icon is exactly the same as the Iron Warriors. So that's my 2 cents as to what I think the Silver Skulls come from, or where do I think the Silver Skulls come from. So again, guys, comment down below, let me know what you think. Give me any suggestions for other Warhammer 40k topics that you guys would like us to create a video for. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and sharing, and I can't wait to talk to you guys in the comment section. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.